live sound. The snare should be crisp and the cymbals should ring.
I admire you when my living has a limit of desire to keep it going. I'm just knowing that my time with you makes a difference. I'm feeling when I vibe with you. They can't divide us two. We got a bond like 007, right? Even on Devil's Night, you show me what the heavens like. Go ahead and spread your light, though I can barely see. I know you're there with me, my personal therapy. Some days I wish I was more like you. Your certainty, your attitude. Keep doing what you're doing, I ain't mad at you. I'm just wishing that I had that too. Some days I wish I was more like you. Your certainty, your attitude. Keep doing what you're doing, I ain't mad at you. Just to know you, I'm glad I do. I want you to view yourself the way you see me. When you're feeling alone, I'll be a sanctuary. Yeah, I want you to view yourself the way you see me. When you're feeling alone, I'll be a sanctuary. You inspire me. Look at you crazy when you tell me you admire me. Not an example for anybody to try to be. We'll call you bluff, but I know you wouldn't lie to me. Just a surprise to me. We got a bond tight. No one can come between. I have respect for you. You have your love for me. And that's enough for me. All I need to get by. Let me be the method to your Mary J. Blige. So many times I felt defeated. You always know the right thing to say for when I need it. I wanna do the same thing for you to keep it even. You can call me anytime. You don't ever need a reason. I'm right here with you. Never could forget you. All the things that we've been through, everything we went through. Hey, none of it was simple, but I'm right here with you. Some days I wish I was more like you. Your certainty, your attitude. Keep doing what you're doing, I ain't mad at you. I'm just wishing that I had that too. Some days I wish I was more like you. Your certainty, your attitude. Keep doing what you're doing, I ain't mad at you. Just to know you, I'm glad I do. I want you to view yourself the way you see me. When you're feeling alone, I'll be a sanctuary. Yeah, I want you to view yourself the way you see me. When you're feeling alone, I'll be a sanctuary.
Rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora. News, weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. The time is 8 o'clock a.m. You are listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. It's Friday, the 14th of October. We got a ton of news to talk about today, but before we get into all of that, I have something to say real quick. I'm not going to take up all your time with it because we got a whole hour to do this. But you know, it always surprises me, you know, that we can be able to simultaneously be cognizant of what we need to do, but also be open-minded and ready to receive whatever comes in the future. So last night, and I was just kind of ranting about this a little bit. Last week was a heck of a week. Okay, we did all of the things last week. There's a couple of goals and metrics that we needed to achieve, and we did those. We really hunkered down. We focused on what we wanted to do, and we got it done. That set us up for this week here, which we're at the end of, and the same thing happened. You know, we had goals and metrics that we wanted to achieve. We achieved them all. So then last night, in between last night and this morning, got a great email. Opportunity knocked once more. And we're trying to get that squared away for the 25th. And then I was like, you know what? Wait a minute. Something's happening here. We're going to be able to showcase, because I wanted to do something for this organization here in town. I was like, how can I help this organization here in town? And lo and behold, when I was sleeping, that organization reached out and was like, hey, we want to see if you can help us do this thing. So I guess the whole nutshell story of that little blurb I just gave was, I guess, just keep your eyes open. You know what I'm saying? Be ready to receive it. Like football, which I don't know anything about, but I know that, you know, when the guy's running towards the touchdown, you're the quarterback, right? You're trying to look and see who's open, and you just just be open. Be open and be ready. You got to be ready, man. So I'm happy for all the good things that are happening, not just with us, but for the city itself, because we told you guys in the past that this is a collective that we have going on here. So if it's good for you, that's good for us. If it's good for us, we hope it's good for you, because we're all one people occupying the same space, trying to do the same things, and also trying to make sure that you know, our families are good, and all of that other good stuff. Monica, how you feeling?
I'm doing pretty good, pretty well.
Good.
I'm excited it's Friday.
I am too. I'm very, very, very happy it's
Not
Friday.
really excited, but I'm just like glad it's Friday.
Right. Good morning to all of you great people. We hope that you guys are doing good out there. The time is 8:03 a.m. How are you feeling today? We've talked about ourselves, but how are you feeling? Put that in the chat and let us know how you guys are doing this morning. We'd love to hear from you. Cheryl Brownell, so good to be with you this morning. So good to see you this morning, Cheryl Brownell. Aisha Saxon is here. Good morning to Aisha Saxon. Saul Olivas, happy Friday. Aurora, have a great weekend. Thank you very much, Saul. We appreciate you all the time. And Gloria Jurado, good morning to you, Aurora. Hope you will have a blessed day today and weekend too. Amen. Thank you very much for that, Gloria. We appreciate you all the time. Okay, so let's get into what's really happening. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but yesterday there was a great presentation online. You could have attended in person as well. I attended online by Penn, which is a gaming company. And the big news in town right now is that the city of Aurora will be moving, or rather the Hollywood Casino will be moving from downtown Aurora. Two things about this, and I have articles to detail both. One of them is that there is a trend going on in Illinois. A trend. What does that mean, Curtis? Well, hospitals, casinos in Illinois, ourselves and Joliet and Chicago, are moving casinos. If they're not already by interstates, they're moving them closer to interstates. That's the trend. That's what's happening. Casinos moving towards interstates. One of the things that has been discovered in the past 4 years, so 2 prior to the pandemic and then 2 years of pandemic, one of the things what's been noticed is that people are driving, right? They're going state to state, and instead of getting off for their little rest stop and eating and all of that, instead of them gambling and spending money and increasing tax revenues, they may get off and eat and all that, but then they jump back on the highway, or they just stay on the highway and they're like, we'll get off at the next exit that looks a little bit cooler. Well, financial planners and the like decided, you know what we need to do? We need to make these people get off the highway and stop and spend their money here. Now, if you are driving past us and you see Chicago Premium Outlet and all that, you'll stop and spend money. But we need you to spend more money. Now, I'm saying we. I'm not the guy behind all this. And quite frankly, I think gambling is a vice, and I stay far away from it. But if I was a financial planner and I wanted people to spend money, I would put a casino by a highway too. So we have two things to talk about today, all in the realm of the casino moving. The first is going to be the trend of casinos moving to major interstate highways. And then the second will be the money, the details of the deal, the millions of dollars that will be accrued, gathered, and spent for this project. So we'll get to that. But I'm going to give you a little something first. Did you know that Aurora is among the top 40 safest cities in America? Did y'all know that? I didn't know that. A national financial website has rated Aurora as the 37th safest city in America. How about that? Wallet Hub released its list of safest cities in America, rating 182 cities. And you'll be surprised what number 182 is. Aurora finished 37th on the list, which is made up of the 150 most populated U.S. cities, plus at least 2 of the most populated cities in each state. Wallet Hub says it analyzes the cities on 3 key areas. The first is home and community safety, including murder, assault, theft, and hate crime rates. Now, scratch it up, DJ. Let me just say, whoever wrote this, bruh, you could that was supposed to be like the end of the article. But anyway, Wallet Hub said it analyzed the cities on 3 key areas: home and community safety, murder, assault, theft, and hate crime rates, the total number of active police, firefighters, and paramedics, and the overall perception of safety. The second category is financial safety, including unemployment, foreclosure, bankruptcy, and poverty rates, fraud and identity theft, complaints, employment growth, and job security. Aurora is the second largest city in the state. The only other Illinois city on the list was Chicago, which came in at 133. Damn. The third area is natural disaster risk, including earthquake, flood, hurricane, and tornado risk levels. No one can avoid all danger. However, we take on a certain level of risk based on where we choose to live. Some cities are simply better at protecting their residents from harm. Very cool. That's a quote from Wallet Hub officials. The number 1 overall safest city in America is Columbia, Maryland. And the lowest rated at 182 is St. Louis. Salty. St. Louis got some good food, but it's mad dangerous. The time is 8:08 a.m. What do you guys think about that? Should Aurora be 30? Should we be like number 23 or something like that? It seems kind of far down. I mean, out of 182, I guess that's not bad, but I don't know. I mean, it was in, this is October, so this may have been July, that Naperville was ranked among the top 5 safest cities in America. Now, their data was calculated not on what Wallet Hub is doing it on, which is primarily financial reasons. But I would think if Naperville's among the top 5 or 10 safest, then why wouldn't we be somewhere closer to that? But hey, tell me what you guys think in the chat, and also let me know how you're feeling today. 8:09 is the time. Karina Suarez Darden is here. Good morning to you, Karina Suarez Darden. We're glad to see you as well. VNA Healthcare is in the house. Okay, let's talk about this Hollywood casino stuff. Because I was on the thing, and you know what? Here's the other thing about it. Y'all so crazy. I was on the Zoom yesterday. I was on it. I was watching your comments in the chat. And it's just so crazy to me. Now, I will admit that I thought the Penn officials who gave the presentation, a little bit more meat, right? Could have been a tad bit better, but mind you, this is the beginning stages of this process, the news of which just debuted. So I would I would defer to the experts, at least nominally, while I continue to be updated about what's going to be taking place. They talked about things like TIF districts as well. TIF is an acronym which means tax. Oh my God. Can you look up what TIF district means, Monica? Thank you very much for scratching that up, DJ. I think it's like tax incremental district or F. Yeah, that's right. Tax increment financing district. That's what it is. Tax increment financing district. We talked about TIF districts before on the show, and TIF districts were mentioned heavily yesterday because they plan to create one for the casino, I suppose. But we'll get into it ourselves. Hollywood Casino Aurora has announced its intention to leave downtown and move to a site near I-88 with Farnsworth Avenue. Officials at Penn Entertainment Incorporated, the owners of Hollywood Casino. Now, here's the other thing about it. I was watching the chat. Who's Penn? Who the hell are they? Why are these outsiders coming into town? Well, they're not coming into town. They own the casino. So you could say they're already here. They made the announcement Monday announcing it would build a casino and hotel with about 900 slot machines, 50 live table games, a barstool sports book, and about 200 hotel rooms at the new Aurora site. The property will also feature a full-service spa, bars and restaurants, about 10,000 square feet of meeting areas, and an event center. According to Penn, the project would have an estimated budget of $360 million and would be adjacent to Chicago Premium Outlet Mall. The development would be on land the city purchased several years ago along Farnsworth and included 2 hotels the city tore down. Now, do y'all remember that? I do. And I remember that when they tore those cities down, or when they tore those hotels down, that went pretty much without a peep. Right? Because, I mean, it was like one of them was it was like a janky Best Western or something like that. We used to have parties in there, rent out 3 rooms when we were underage. Have an older guy go in there, yo, rent 3 rooms for us, and then just get loose all night. That's before they had cameras and all that. But anyway, when they tore the hotels down, that just passed without anything, and nobody really noticed that. Now, I knew that you don't tear down hotel. Who tears down a hotel? The only reason you would do that is if you were going to build something else on that land. Ding, ding. Okay. Penn's announcement said the deal would involve the city transferring land. It also said the city would contribute about $50 million to the project raised through issuing bonds. The city itself has not announced the plans, although Clayton Muhammad, Aurora's chief communications and equity officer, released a statement saying a full presentation of the redevelopment deal between the city and Penn would take place yesterday at the City Council Finance Committee meeting, which I watched. That was the beginning of the City Council process. Quote, the proposed plans represent one of the most significant economic... Wait a minute. Scratch that up. Oh, my bad. I stapled the, you know what I did? I stapled the pages out of order. So instead of like continuing the sentence, it jumped into like the part I should be reading. Okay. In her interview with the Beacon News several weeks ago, Mayor Urban said the pending deal would include all the city land, both along Farnsworth and along Bilter. He said it would encompass an entire entertainment district in the area. The casino will be placed on the site along Farnsworth that held the 2 hotels. He said the move by the casino and the investment by the city is so the city can better take advantage of the about 8 million people who visit the outlet mall a year. Now, that is where the rubber meets the road. 8 million people a year visit the outlet mall. Right there off the highway. And the casino is way downtown. So, simply in terms of getting people closer, it would be obvious to move the casino to where 8 million people a year come from. When you look at it from that perspective, it's not very silly at all. That's a smart move. According to Mayor Urban, quote, it will change the face of the city of Aurora, close quote. According to Jay Snowden, Penn Entertainment Chief Executive Officer and President, quote, our plan for Aurora is to construct a modern, best-in-class casino and hotel in an ideal location off I-88 that will allow us to serve the millions of visitors to the adjacent premium outlet mall. Construction of the new property is expected to begin in late 2023, subject to city and regulatory approval. In addition to announcing the Aurora move, Penn Entertainment also announced it would relocate their casino at 777 Hollywood Boulevard in Joliet to the Rock Run Crossings development near the I-88 and 55 interchange. The two projects will significantly improve our offerings in the highly attractive Chicagoland market while creating hundreds of new full-time jobs for local communities, close quote. The time is 8:16 a.m. So there you have it. That's the why right there. 8 million people a year visit the Hollywood Outlet Mall. It's right off the interstate. The casino is way the hell down here. Put the casino next to the outlet. Bada bing, bada boom. There you have it. Now, with this other article, now here's the money part. And for most people, when you hear $360 million, I think most people think, A, what is it being spent on? B, whatever it's being spent on, how will it benefit all of Aurora? And C, is it a wise investment? We'll find all that out together. But what do you guys think about the move so far in the chat? Let me know. The time is 8:17 a.m. Josue Pais, good morning to you as well, dear brother. Josue Pais is the proprietor of Harry Beast Dog Parlor. If Snuggles needs her haircut, you can take her there. And then at the end, they put you in a nice picture too. They put like a hat and all that, and then you get a picture. Oh, Harry Beast. So shout out to Harry Beast Dog Parlor. We'll get into the money, but let me know what you guys think about it. Mondo is here. Good morning to you, dear sir. Monica, what do you think about the move, first of all?
I think it will in the long run be a good investment.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the casino made like downtown Aurora like shiny just because of all the lights that the casino has.
Right.
I think, but then again, I've gone to the casino maybe like twice.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that packed.
Yeah, I personally, I don't like casinos. I personally I don't like the environment. I don't like how I feel when I go inside of casinos. I just don't like casinos. So even when I lived downtown, my entire time in Aurora, I've been in the casino 5 times. And I had to get dragged there for 4 of those times. So honestly, I do think that there will be a void in downtown, and that's kind of what bugs me about the whole thing. Because I'm not, I don't think, here's the thing. I don't think Aurora is at the place yet where we should be making more empty structures. I think Aurora already has enough empty buildings, unfortunately. There's enough empty shit.
And I mean, like, we're building the apartments, new apartment complexes and stuff like that. So, like, maybe the casino was an attraction for people to move in there,
right? Right. I mean, if you were thinking about getting an apartment downtown to be closer to the casino, well,
I mean, not necessarily just for the casino,
right?
But
true.
Just an attraction. Oh, let's go Friday night. Whatever.
Yeah. I'm wondering what's gonna be in that building. That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, let's get to the money part. Officials from Aurora and Penn yesterday painted Hollywood Casino's proposed move from the city's downtown as necessary and good for the community. Officials made their first pitch during the City Council Finance Committee meeting for redevelopment agreement that calls for an investment by Penn Entertainment, the casino owners, of more than $300 million, an investment by the city of a little more than $50 million. So the people who own the casino are going to invest $300 million, and the city is going to invest a little more than $50 million. So just based on that statement, the largesse, the word of the day is largesse. The largesse of the burden will be on Penn Entertainment, the casino owners. That's a good thing, right? It would move Hollywood Casino from downtown to Farnsworth. We know that. City officials said they not only will get the money back in taxes generated by the development, but said Penn Entertainment agreed to guarantee repayment of the $50 million general obligation bond the city would pass for the project. So let's scratch that up. Hold on. Let's read it again, right? Let's read that again. The casino owners are going to invest $300 million. The city is going to invest a little more than $50 million. Penn Entertainment agreed to guarantee repayment of the $50 million that the city is going to give them. That's not a bad deal, right? You know what I'm saying? Monica, here, I'm going to put up 200, you put up 50, and I'll give you that 50 back. That's not bad, right? Let's go on. That's only page 2. Look how thick this is. Moreover, city officials said the move would allow the city to realize more gaming tax money that has been spent during the past 30 years on social services and infrastructure. Quote, by Alex Alexandru, the city's chief management officer, we can show traditional return on investment, but there are so many intangibles. If you look at how the community decided to use the funds 30 years ago, we're going to take that to the next level. He said the pandemic pointed out numerous social service needs throughout the community, and he said the move by Hollywood would allow the city to shore up what has been steadily declining gaming tax revenues. The city now gets about $6 million a year in gaming tax from Hollywood Casino. That's down from what was once $15 million a year. So now let's keep going here. The outlet mall makes more than the casino does. Wow. So putting the casino by the outlet mall is going to get us that deft of money. Now, this is the point in the conversation where some people would think, I don't know if the city should be investing in or financially supporting this move now, given housing issues, a lack of affordable housing, and all the other service-related issues that are going on in the city. And I can totally feel that. I do. I will admit that hearing that your city is going to spend $50 million or invest $50 million in moving a casino when, if you go down New York Street and take a left on River, you'll run into Hesed House, which could use help and funds. I get it. I do. Moreover, I will agree that investing $50 million in a casino move when the food pantry, for example, has to get funds from turkey trots and all that to continue moving along. I get that. But I don't know but I kind of feel like the iron is hot for the move. I kind of feel like now is the right time for it to happen if it was going to happen. And as a person who I don't partake in casinos myself, but I do see the benefit in the move. I mean, to put the casino near the outlet mall and generate more money, I think that's a good thing to do. What do you think?
I'm thinking what's the guarantee that people are gonna go to the casino, even if it's beside the outlet mall?
True.
Even if it's 8 million people that go to the outlet mall, or people who are, out of state driving through the interstate, why would they spend money on the casino when they're probably on a budget going somewhere else?
Well, I think that's a good question. What is the guarantee, right? Okay, you moved it. What's the guarantee now that we're going to get some benefit out of it?
I mean, it is going to have more entertainment, like the spa and
right.
whatever you said.
Yeah. So they said bars, restaurants, a spa, and a entertainment center. Yeah. I mean, I guess and that's how they get you. See, yeah. That's how they get you. Because maybe you're like me. Maybe you don't like casinos and gambling. Mm-hmm. But if you got the chance to go see Sade or Earth, Wind, and Fire, and it's gonna be at the okay. I'm gonna go. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
you get
That's
roped
how-
in. That's how they do you. But that was a good question, Monica. But anyway, the article continues real quick, and I'm going to get to this this conversation in the chat. Shannon Cameron is here with something very. Shannon, I'm coming right to you next. Here we go. The city now gets. Oh, I read that part. Excuse me. Members of the Finance Committee voted to recommend the redevelopment agreement, which will now go before the full council for the first time next week at Tuesday's Committee of the Whole meeting. According to, again, Alex Alexandru, he said that was the driving force to stop the downward slope. We can get back to where we were. So the whole thing. Now you heard him. That is a direct quote. Scratch that, please, DJ. I'm going to read that again because that is the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. I will read it for you again. The city now gets about $6 million a year in gaming tax from Hollywood Casino. That's down from a figure that was once as high as $15 million a year. Quote, that was the driving force to stop the downward slope. We can get back to where we were, close quote from Mr. Alex Alexandru. Great man. So there you have it. Get the money back. That's the whole reason they're doing it. Is that a bad thing? Let us know in the chat. The time is 8:27 a.m. You're listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. Fancy Nancy Boards is here. Good morning to you, Fancy Nancy Boards. Tracy Duran is here as well. Good to know Tracy Duran. Tracy Duran also runs the Instagram pages Leland, Hotel Aurora, and Discovering Aurora. If you want to know anything about the fantastic history of Aurora, including spooky joints, you can go on Instagram and follow her pages. She's a dear friend of the show. All right. Tracy Duran says, I used to work at the casino, and seeing the people walking out that lost everything was heartbroken, and we couldn't do anything about it. From my understanding, once the casino moves, they have to make the land back to how it was given to Aurora, kind of like how the police department building that was originally on River was turned back into a park since it was given to them. Okay. That is a good place to plant that flag, Tracy, because I didn't know that. But that reminds me because, yes, that's true. What is now Wilder Park was where the old police department and the jail used to be. So if the casino moves from where it's at in downtown Aurora, that would have to be turned back over to the city since Penn Entertainment, who owns Hollywood, owns it. That is interesting. So then what will the city do with that? Good to know that. Good to know. Thank you very much for that, Tracy. Cindy Morales is here. Good to know Cindy Morales. She is the owner, founder, and proprietor of Cups Broad Drive. How much time do they have to pay back the $50 million? Excellent question. Excellent question. I would imagine that they will work that out to some kind of financial benefit with Penn, probably in 10, 20 years. Food Pantry is here. Good morning to you, Food Pantry. What they should do is create an entertainment venue of some sort that would include a movie theater. We really need a movie theater downtown. Okay, you're talking about the casino building. Here's my issue, drunk drivers. We would get people trying to drive themselves home, but with APD and casino surveillance, they could nip it real quick since you have to navigate the downtown streets. Being over by the outlet mall, you can get into 88 real quick. That is true. Here's what Shannon said. I want to read Shannon's point. This is interesting. But they are a $1 billion company. They can afford $310 million. Why do they need $50 million in public funds? That's a fact. True. That's true. See, that's the kind of this is what I love about the news, right? Because anybody, and you don't have to work for a nonprofit, you don't have to work for a food pantry, you don't have to work for a hospital, you don't have to work for Mutual Ground. You don't have to work at a nonprofit that can benefit from funds to see that something must be wrong with a company that can't afford the money asking you for money. That just on its face makes people question it. I get that. Tracy says, or I read that about Tracy and the drunk drivers. I'm sorry about that, Tracy. Good morning to you, Nancy. Yeah, I totally agree, but I think that for me, again, I think that if we're gonna make the move, which I do believe I believe the iron is hot for the move. So let me just put my cards on the table. I do believe the iron is hot. I believe the time is now. If it's gonna happen, I think the time is now. So I'm in that camp with that. However, I, you, and many people who watch this show know that we either represent, work with, liaison with, or partner with organizations which $50 million would change their whole everything. It would change everything. $50 million? Good God. What could the food pantry do with $50 million? What could Mutual Ground do with $50 million? What could Aurora Township do with $50 million?
A lot.
A lot, right? In fact, I mean, hey, look, I don't gamble, but I know a little. What if 50 million? I could give 10 to food pantry, 10 to township, 10 to Mutual Ground. What was it? $50 million? So I think the concerns from people in the community are valid, but I believe the iron is hot.
Why do you think that though?
The valid or the iron hot part?
The iron.
Oh, because I think that's a good deal. I do. I think that's a good deal. If they're gonna pay $300 million, we'll pay 50, and they'll pay us the 50 back. I think that's a good deal. So I think the iron is hot. That is a good deal. Now, of course, there's the why. Sure, but we don't have the ability to. We're not looking at the financials, and we don't work in the mayor's office of economic development. So the why is not really. We're not privy to the details to make the why. But I do believe that. I think that's a good deal, and I think the iron is hot. I think if it's the time to pull the trigger, the time is now. However, as a member of the community, I have the exact same concerns everybody else has. There are a number of institutions in Aurora to which $50 million would change everything. The amount of people they could help would be astronomical at $50 million. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. The time is 8:33 a.m. You are listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. Aurelia is here. Good morning. Cheryl Brownell, why use their money when they can use ours? And Tracy says, someone mentioned too that if the casino moves to the outlet mall, that the Aurora schools won't benefit, but the Batavia schools would. I wasn't sure if that's true or not, but if it is, then we shouldn't be footing the bill on the new casino. Now, I feel that, but you know what? I really don't know. So I don't know if that's necessarily true, that the taxes would benefit Batavia school district. I don't know if that's true, actually. So I'll defer speaking on that. Good morning to you, Aurea. Cindy Morales says, I agree, but does Penn have enough money in the bank to make the move and sustain the build? And waited for the council members to ask the executives the following question: how and does Penn have the resources to support their move? Should we see another pandemic shutdown? But no one asked. That's a good question. That's a good question, because here's the thing, right? But Cindy, I'm glad you brought that up. See, there is no guarantee. So don't get right. Look, I got 4 eyes. Monica got 4 eyes. We got 8 eyes. We can see. Look, just because you moving it to I-88, where the outlet mall gets 8 million people, that does not guarantee that that does not guarantee a positive return on investment. I think what they're doing to augment that is the event center, the bars, the restaurants, the spa, and all that. That's how they offset that. You know, like, okay, so if revenues are down, we'll make something dope. Cheesecake Factory. If they put a Cheesecake Factory over there, I'ma shut up. Like, Curtis, I thought you was against it. Nah. Have you had the apple pie? So good question, Cindy. But again, I don't see that's the problem with services like entertainment. That's the issue with it. Your return on investment. It costs a lot of money to do these kind of things. But will it be for the benefit of Aurora? That's the big question. Again, I want to stress to you that I believe that the iron is hot to make that move. So I would vote for it. However, I can think of a lot of things that, like, I would spend $50 million on. I do. Knowing that you'll get that $50 million back for that investment and then get back up to the tax money and revenues that you used to make, that's worth pulling the trigger on. But me, myself, again, I think I hate casinos. So that's where I'm coming from. I'm coming from a position to support the city of Aurora getting better. But me personally, if it was me, it wouldn't have come across my desk because I do not like casinos. I think they're as bad as those payday loan joint predatory lending services places. You know, it's a den of sin and vice and graft. But that's my thoughts. Monica, would you do me a favor? Would you take me to a commercial? Would you take me to a commercial, please? Cindy. Okay, we read Cindy's part. So yeah, there's that. Now I have some information to give you guys about Sugar Skull City. Excuse me. Sugar Skull City, now in its third year, will turn downtown Aurora into a celebration of Day of the Dead from October 15th to November 6th. The downtown will be rich with decorations and activities that surround the Mexican holiday. Dozens of downtown storefronts will be painted by local artists and decorated with festive displays for the holiday. Visitors will enjoy several photo-worthy opportunities, including a 5-foot painted skull at Sergio Furniture. And this year, Sugar Skull City will feature Pan de Muerto, or Bread of the Dead, for its downtown-wide scavenger hunt. A special Sugar Skull City-themed art and market featuring Hispanic-owned businesses and merchants from Oaxaca will be open from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday, November 5th at Society 57. Day of the Dead items will be for sale at a variety of downtown businesses, including gourmet goods from the Cornucopia Shop, fresh flower bouquets from Blissful Blooms, and Sugar Skull City tote bags and artisan items at Wickwood House. And the Cottonseed Creative Exchange, Super Jumbo as well, will have special t-shirts. Quote, "It's great to see Sugar Skull City continue to grow. It's an opportunity to highlight our Hispanic-owned businesses and keep sharing all of the beauty of this cherished cultural tradition." Close quote. And that's from Marissa Amoni, the manager of Downtown Aurora Downtown. Monica, would you give us some local joints, please, as I sip my coffee? Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Here are your local headlines. Real news, real people, real stories, 100% Aurora. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date on all of our content. There you can also watch all of our interviews and receive notifications when we go live. Ward 3 Alderman Ted Masiacos will be hosting the next monthly Alderman's Chat on Monday, October 24th. Yay! Thank you.
No doubt.
From 7 to 8 p.m. For our friends and residents of the 3rd Ward, this is your opportunity to learn about what's going on in Ward 3 and voice your opinions as well. This will be held at Our Lady of Good Counsel, located at 620 South 5th Street. The next Alderman's Chat will be Monday, November 28th. Saturday, October 15th will be a day of action and voter outreach. Join State Representative Barbara Hernandez, Senator Karina Villa, and Judge Bianca Camargo at Treadwell Coffee for 2 shifts, 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. The team will enjoy some coffee and knock on doors. Become part of the team and support our local leaders this election season. And I'll be sharing the RSVP link in our chat. Please share what's important to you on the community survey by the Community Foundation and Dunham Foundation. This brief anonymous survey will take you about 10 minutes and will help in our collective efforts to assess needs in our community. This survey is available in English and Spanish. And to access the survey, I'll be sharing that link in our chat as well. November 12th, beginning at 5 p.m., our friends of My Daughter's Dress are having their Royal Gold Gala at Whitetail Ridge Golf Club in Yorkville. Dinner, dancing, raffles, and much more. This will be a night to remember. This event is for all ages, and you can scan the QR code on the flyer for more information.
That's right. You can scan the QR code on the flyer for more information. You can do that. Monica, thank you very much for that fantastic news. Our friends at Community Foundation of Fox River Valley and the Dunham Fund have been real good. We want to make sure that we highlight. See, and scratch that up, DJ. Now, I want to, hey, I'm going to talk to you like a brother. Remember, okay? We're reading you the news about the casino and 300 million and the tax district and yeah, that's the news. But don't forget, what we want you to do is fill out the Community Foundation survey. Do you know if you fill out that survey, it'll ask you things like, what should money be spent on? And you can say what it should be spent on. So again, let's not just focus on that casino and all that. Fill out that survey and help make your voice be heard. Because I'll tell you this, I ain't going to no casinos. I don't spend my money at casinos. But what I will do is spend my money and time to help the Community Foundation, because that will help everybody. Or the Dunham Fund. You see how that works? So again, the power is in our hands. It's all good, because whether you know it or not, that casino will be moved. It's going to happen. It will happen. So you can kiss it goodbye. Just it's not worth typing in all caps in the comments on public counsel and all that. It's not worth it. You can just get ready to go to the outlet mall and casino across the street. Get ready for it. It's already going to happen. And once it gets on the consent agenda, it's happening. So let's not get into the morass of why this is. Fill out the Community Foundation survey and help me and help Monica and help Shannon Cameron and help Kathy Schweiger and help Beth Christoffel. Help us make Aurora beautiful, wonderful, great for everybody. That's how you do it. Okay. Monica put the links in the chat for all of that good stuff. Thank you very much for that, Monica. Monica is cool. But you guys know that already. Maria Charito, good morning to you. Aurora Swan says on the Aurora Downtown IG and Facebook giveaways weekly for Sugar Skull City. That's very cool. Thank you very much for that, Aurelia. Okay. I got more news for you. Here's some good stuff to talk about in Aurora Downtown. It might seem minor, but Monica Boyer said the new musical garden outside the Aurora Public Library's downtown branch will make a major difference. This happened last week. I'm just bringing it up to you now because it was hectic. So that music garden is out there, and you can take part in it. It's very cool. It's what prompted the idea for the garden, which the library officially opened over the weekend, and it's just outside of the children's section at River and Benton. There's musical drums, there's bells. They had a ribbon cutting. The garden was funded by about a $9,000 grant from the Streetscape Committee of Aurora Downtown, the group which oversees spending for the downtown special service area. The money had been earmarked for another downtown mural, but the committee decided not to do a mural this year. The garden outside of the children's area was developed when the Santori Library was built 7 years ago. and it was paid for then by Aurora Downtown. They decided to spruce it up a bit. Absolutely wonderful. We're glad to see that. Thank you very much, team. The time is 8:45 a.m. All right. Now, I got some more things to tell you guys about. Let me find them here, because typically, and this is pretty much that moment where I tell you that one or two of these things could qualify as all right. So get ready to see something cool. And it ends this weekend, but if you use the code Destinos, you can get $35 tickets for Bull a Love Story, which is playing at the Copley Theater right across from the Paramount. Now, Bull a Love Story, I ain't going to spoil it for you. Right? I do want to spoil it for you. I wish I could spoil it for you. I wish I could tell you everything that happens right now. Like, as soon as you walk in, boom. But I'm not going to do that. That wouldn't be cool. It's definitely a love story. It's definitely a great story. And I encourage everybody to go check it out. Our friends of the Paramount Theater have done an incredible amount of work to bring such a production here to the City of Lights. We are the very first suburban city to even feature Destinos. You know how large that is? That's super big. The Chicago Latino Theater Association and Destinos, which is an international group, teamed up with the Paramount for this production. That is large. I don't think you realize how large that's bigger than the casino, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you. Okay. What it does is it solidifies the city of Aurora as a destination for international art. That's how big that is. I said it's bigger than the casino because the casino is local, right? I mean, it's Aurora and Joliet that are moving. I mean, it's a landlord moving his building from one place to another. How often does an international theater company, an act, come to your town? First time. Use the code Destinos when you book your tickets for Raging, I keep saying Raging Bull. You ever seen that movie?
No, I
Raging Bull.
Raging Waves.
Nah. Like, we got a water park? That's what they should do, right?
Yeah.
They should change the casino built into a water park. Oh, what if Blackberry Farms is in downtown Aurora? That'd be awesome. We need better water, though, right? Can't be sliding down the water to the Fox River. You whack.
That'd be fun.
I mean, it would, but I'll watch. So yeah, check out Destinos and check out Bull a Love Story. You will love it, ladies and gentlemen. You'll like it very much. Also, Pais says, cool. Hope they have turntables. William Miller III is here. Good morning to you, William Miller III. Good to see you as well, dear brother. The time is 8:48 a.m. Okay. Oh, that's right. One more thing to tell you guys about. Two more things, actually. Let me see here. Okay. So Saturday the 29th of October will be the second annual Halloween Pet Parade fundraiser in support of Alive Aurora's free teen drop-in hours, free hot dogs, pet treats, temporary tattoos, Hot Wheels, art activity. Scratch that up. God. I almost made it the whole episode without. Damn. Oh, step it up, step it up, step it up, step it up. Oh. Tracy Duran, you sipping it up? Okay. You can bring us back on. Let's try that again. Therapy dog Marley and cat Milo. Pumpkin decorating contest, photo booth, costume contest, face painting, and more. Prizes for the funniest, scariest, and most like your pet costume. It'll be from 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m., 78 South LaSalle Street. So the whole LaSalle Street will be filled with animals, hot dogs, and all kinds of cool stuff. Good Morning Aurora and Buenos Dias Aurora will be there on the set, and we'll be conducting interviews with some of you. So if you have a pet Bring your pet out to Pet Parade, and you will see us, and we'll interview you. We'll make you famous. Hey, what's your name? Can you give us a bark, bark, roof, roof? Oh, that's cool. Back to you, Monica. So yeah, get ready for that. You guys will love it. All right. The next thing I want to mention is the Aurora City Council is looking at changes to, or creating an ethics amendment. I mentioned this last week on Monday, but things got so hyped, so I want to reiterate it for you for this end of this week here. The full City Council is set to discuss an amendment to its ethics ordinance to tighten how city officials solicit donations. The RAP committee recently passed the proposal to the full council, and it will be discussed at the October 18th committee of the whole meeting. That's Tuesday next week. Tune in. The new regulations are based on the idea that it is important to have a record of donations solicited by city officials, either workers at City Hall or elected officials such as aldermen or the mayor. That's according to Aurora's Corporation Counsel, Mr. Richard Veenstra, who drafted the legislation. The committee discussed the rules twice, with Mr. Veenstra presenting a new draft that incorporated some tweaks suggested by aldermen on the committee. So tune in on Tuesday of next week. That's important stuff. Why is it important? Well, because, as I've told you before, I've been looking on all of your Facebook posts and all that. Every time you type something crazy on the city council, I read it. And I agree, we need an ethics ordinance. We need to have it strengthened. There's a little bit of ambiguity. Could we have it tightened up? I'm with that, because things should be transparent and proper, right? So I'm with that. So tune in on Tuesday and, and watch and see what happens and what becomes of it. Okay. Monica, isn't there a piece of news about the Neighbor Project and the FEC and Cottonseed tomorrow?
Yes.
Could you read that for us, please?
Saturday, the 15th of October, there will be a great workshop and seminar taking place at Cottonseed Creative Exchange, located at 64 South River Street in downtown Aurora. Our friends of the Neighbor Project, Aurora FEC, and Durate Realty Company are coming together to inform the community about budgeting, finance, and so much more. To reserve your seat, you can send an email that I will put in the chat, or you can text or call at 331-999-2498.
331-999-2498.
See you there.
See you there. Okay, thank you very much for that, Monica. I appreciate that very well. The time is 8:53 a.m. Okay, Josue Pais. What did he say? He said, Tracy Duran got Duncan. Oh, that's what he said. He said an international food court, and we need a Navy pier instead of the casino. Shit, we need way more water than that.
That'd be cool.
That would be dope.
Like the Ferris wheel.
That would be dope. Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
You know what they should do? Mm-hmm. And you heard it here first. I don't want to see none of y'all talking about this. Yeah, they should do this. They should here's what they should do. Because the casino right now, River Edge Park is right there. Mm-hmm. They should make like a Navy Pier-esque kind of thing out of that site with like a beer garden on the water. Mm-hmm. That'd be fly. That would be fly.
That would be.
International food court too. I like that idea, Josue Pais. That's a good idea. Mm-hmm. Tracy also mentioned that the Onion Dome is coming up. On a good note, did you all see that the Hobbs building is getting the Onion Dome back up? It's going to look awesome. I'm super excited. Yes, the Hobbs building is located on the intersection of River and Galena Streets. The Onion Dome is quite the iconic feature of that building. That renovation and development is going to be quite substantial for Aurora. It will have a restaurant in the bottom. The type is TBD at the moment. But there's going to be luxury apartments as well, encompassing the top couple of floors of it. It looks like a really good project. Excited for it, and that's going to make Aurora downtown Aurora rather, look really good. So with all the things that are taking place, I feel good things are happening. But again, I know the casino thing is a problem for people, but you know, and it's a problem for me too. Don't get it wrong. You know,
Don't get it twisted.
don't get it twisted. That's a fact. But look, ladies and gentlemen, we have to seize opportunity, and we have to make the steps now to make Aurora the city of the future. We have to. We have to do that. As I said, and I will reiterate, I think, my words, I think the iron is hot for the project. And when the iron is hot, you strike. So I think there's no other time to make the move for the casino than now. But the world doesn't revolve on only what I think. Let us know what you guys think. You can comment after this. You can send us an email or anything, or take part at the next couple of city council meetings and learn. Keep watching. Ask your questions in a respectful manner. But we'll continue to dig into the story as it develops. Okay. More family activities so people will stay downtown. That is a good thing. Jennifer Ryan Mayton, good morning to you. Yes, Curtis Shemaine, you're on the same wavelength. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Because that's what it's about. That's what it's about. And that's the thing about being listen. You know what the flip side of this is, though, too? And I'm not going to spend much time on this because this is a family show and we do positive things here. Here's the flip side that not a lot of people know about. See, I remember when the conversation in the town was, oh, what is the city going to do to update the casino? Why the casino so old? Why the casino still got old joints? When's the casino gonna get a facelift? When's the casino gonna come up? What are they gonna do with the area around the casino? I remember that. Oh, I remember it like it was this morning. I remember that. I remember, in fact, when part of the discussion was, oh, what kind of job the mayor got? Have you seen downtown? Have you seen our casino? It's not even that dope. I remember that. I remember all that. And now here it is. Oh, why are we doing this for the casino? See?
Mm-hmm.
Why
are we moving it?
Come on, right? Why are we moving it? It's like, come on, man. Like, look, don't Mosca and La Sopa. Don't be that. Don't be that. Don't be that. If you have nothing nice to contribute, not necessarily nice, but let's learn about it and let's see what we can do. But at the same time, no casino in the world or high-rise complex or a convention center, no spa or beauty bar is more important than feeding people who are hungry or housing people who were unhoused. None of that is more important. So I'm a team player. That's what I am. But at the same time, I care a lot more about humans than I do about casinos. So we'll see where this development takes us. Good morning, Aurora, and Buenos Dias, Aurora. We'll be happy to continue to give you updates on this. We encourage all of you who have questions about the city of Aurora, Hollywood Casino, and Penn Gaming to continue to watch the meetings, tune in, chime in, read the news, and let's continue to educate ourselves as a team. Did I forget anything? Did we forget anything?
Did we forget anything? I don't think we did.
All right. I think we got everything too. Okay. Well, the time is 8:59 a.m. This has been a heck of a week. We appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. I'd like to encourage you all to continue to check out the Buenos Dias Aurora interviews that we did with Nancy Garcia Loza, the writer of Bull, a Love Story, and Rachel Alcala Baker, who is a director of Bull, a Love Story as well. Shout out to all of our friends in the theater industry: Jim Cordy, Jim Jarvis, come on, Joel Friend, Syrian Taylor. I mean, we could go, Susie, all y'all. You know, it's real. It's real out here. Have a great weekend, you guys. Be safe. See you Monday. Take care of yourself and each other.